Hey! Hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. Now, while I know for some of you the subject of this video and the title of this video should be obvious, for some of you this is obvious. This doesn't need explaining. This doesn't really need to be pointed out or talked about. But for some others, this is a real kind of issue they face. Being judged or looked down upon for playing violent video games. And while this kind of stereotype that playing violent video games is wrong or bad, or makes you lesser to someone else in some way, that myth, that stereotype, it's been debunked, and more people, more human beings in the world than ever are playing and enjoying video games of all types, violent and non-violent. But I know for a fact that there are some people in the world who are going through this, who play violent video games, but perhaps feel bad for playing these violent video games because of a look someone gave to you or a demeaning thing they said, like they were shocked by you or thought lesser of you because you were playing a video game that had blood, gore, guns, stabbing, that sort of thing. Whether it be a family member, a friend, or even a stranger. Hell, maybe someone online that gave you the impression that playing violent video games is bad and you should feel bad. I want to let you know that that's not the case. You should never feel bad for playing a violent video game. You should feel bad, however, if you're playing an anime hentai game. That you really should feel bad for. But joking aside, you should never feel sad, depressed, feel outcasted, like you're lesser to another human being because you play violent video games. Violent video games fall under the same standards as any other media with violence in it, whether it be books, written text, novels, films, TV shows. Have you seen some of the stuff on TV? That's more bloody, gory, violent, and disturbing than most video games. Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead. There's even some novels and comic books whose names I will not mention because then you'll go look this stuff up and be disgusted and not sleep for weeks if I give you the names. There are some books and comic books that are absolutely the epitome of violence. Believe me, when you compare video games to other forms of media, video games are a lot more tame when it comes to violence, but more importantly, it's hypocritical. It's hypocritical to think that you're a weirdo or a loser, to feel like you're doing something wrong, like it's dirty that you're playing a violent video game. It's hypocritical to be looked at that way, to be told that, or to feel like that. Yes, do video games get blamed for a lot of violence that happens in the world? Yes, they do. But you know what? So has every other form of media. Any form of new media that has come into existence. Do you remember rock and roll and metal music? Back in the early to mid 20th century, the media and the government were saying that those forms of music, rock and roll and metal, were forms of Satanism and they were causing young people to go out and cause violence. Hell, even before rock and roll and metal music, comic books were getting accused of promoting violence and causing young people to be violent. The same thing happened with early film and television. The government and the media at the time don't understand this new form of entertainment, this new form of art, this new form of media. It's foreign to them because they've grown up in a generation where this stuff didn't exist. It's new, it's foreign, it's weird. It doesn't fit their narrative, their agenda, so they use it as a scapegoat for their screw-ups. Believe it or not, a lot of violence in the world that is perpetrated is usually caused by the incompetence or even the involvement of the media and government. Also, the video game industry as a whole, for the most part, doesn't associate themselves with political parties the same way Hollywood has. And as we all know, these media and news networks are bought out by political parties. And since the video game industry doesn't associate or connect with political parties on a financial and social level, then they're an easy target practice for government and media to use as a scapegoat. I'm sorry I got so heavy and realistic there. That was... wow, that got really dark there. Here's a humorous Mortal Kombat fatality to lighten the mood.
Cassie wins. Fatality.
Alright, everyone good? We good. Alright, let's continue. The overall point I want to make is, though, don't ever feel bad for playing a violent video game. It's hypocritical to feel bad for playing a violent video game, or get criticized for playing a violent video game, when you enjoy a violent movie, or the individual demeaning you loves a violent movie. But you see, the older generation that didn't grow up with video games and see them as this alien thing that they don't understand, well, of course, they're gonna think negatively of it. People are afraid of the unknown, and for a lot of people, video games are the unknown. But what you need to know about video games, most importantly, is that they are no different to movies, television, novels, books. They're another form of entertainment, of storytelling, of creative expression, of leisure time, of life. Video games have become a part of life. They can be a hobby, a job, a lifestyle. And yes, while a lot of you watching this video are like, yeah, we know this, Gamertron, we're well aware of this. The typical gamer stereotype for the most part is broken. Almost everyone plays video games now. This is unnecessary. I know, but there are still a few people out there that this video is directed to. There are still a few people out there that are going through this, where they've played a violent video game and a family member, friend, or some random stranger looked at them in a way that was demeaning, or said something that was demeaning that you play a violent video game. I went through this experience when I was younger. You see, many years ago when I was first getting into YouTube and making YouTube videos, I was trying to prove to my parents, because I love my parents, and if you love your parents, what son or daughter doesn't love showing off to their parents, their accomplishments, their achievements, or their dreams? When I first learned how to record gameplay footage with Fraps, that was a big moment for me. I was all excited and giddy because, holy crap, I can do what all these other people on YouTube that I look up to do. I can record gameplay from video games and put it in a movie editor. Oh my god, this is so cool. And one of the first games I did that for was a demo for The Darkness 2. Now, if you've played The Darkness 2, you know it's a violent video game. So when I was showing off to my mother, because I was so happy, I wanted to show her, hey mom, look at this cool thing I can do. And when I was showing off the gameplay I recorded from The Darkness 2, she was shocked. She was like, Ryan, you like this? You like this violence, this blood, this gore? And the shock and disapproval on her face, that hit me right in the heart. But you see, after having a conversation with my mother, I asked her why she was so offended and shocked by the violence in video games. She said she couldn't understand why someone would want to play a game like that. And so I engaged my mother in conversation about how she really liked gangster movies and action movies. Some of those movies being The Godfather, The Goodfellas, The Untouchables. I personally love The Untouchables, great movie. So I brought up the comparison. Mom, you're shocked at this violence in The Darkness 2, but you're not shocked and horrified by Robert De Niro beating someone's head in with a baseball bat? And I brought up the idea of looking at video games as another form of art. That these violent video games use violence the same way as movies and books do, for effect, for entertainment. And since then, my mom has no problem with violent video games. I mean, she doesn't like violent video games, but she doesn't think lesser of people that play violent video games, and she acknowledges that video games are, in fact, an art. And there's nothing wrong with not liking violent video games. The violence in video games can be very personal, very right in your face. But one should never feel bad or look at someone else negatively for playing a violent video game. If killing and dismembering aliens, terrorists, mutants, demons, robots, if shooting, stabbing, exploding, cutting, slashing, if violent video games make you happy, if they're something that give you pleasure in your free time, or there's something you invest your creativity and your imagination in, if video games make you happy, violent video games, they make you happy, then be happy. And if someone else looks down on you or thinks lesser of you because you play violent video games, well, then they're a hypocrite, and their opinion and their thoughts should not get to you. They shouldn't be taken seriously. Because if that individual cannot connect the dots and see the correlation between violent video games and other forms of violent media such as film and books and television, I mean, this really gets to me. How can playing a violent video game be bad? Be a stain on society, something that people should engage in, yet we have television shows like Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead that are some of the most violent shit I've ever seen. There's mutilation, decapitation, buckets of blood. Certain video games wish they could be that violent. However, to get back to the original message, look, if you're struggling out there, if you're feeling bad because you play or played a violent video game, don't. There is nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't feel bad. Do what makes you happy. The only one in the wrong, and you are not in the wrong for liking violent video games, the only one in the wrong is someone who thinks lesser of you for playing a violent video game. You are not in the wrong, you are in the right. Keep doing what you're doing. This happens with every generation, with every new form of media and entertainment. It happened with comic books, it happened with rock and roll and metal music, it happened with film, it happened with television. But in the end, we rise above the stereotypes, and we rise above the fear, and we rise above the paranoia. And we just keep doing what we're doing, and doing what we love, and doing what makes us happy. Whether it be violent video games or anything else. However, seriously though, if you play Japanese anime hentai games, you really need to reevaluate your life and seriously get laid. I promise you, I'm talking from experience. Real sex with another human being, particularly a woman, is one of the best things in the world. Especially if it's someone you love and care about, like, oh, let the good times roll. Anyways, that's been a video. I hope you liked the video. I hope the video helped you out, or brought a smile to your face, just helped you out, made a better day for you, or something like that somehow. And if you did indeed like the video in any way, shape, or form, please hit the like button. Hitting the like button helps you, helps me, helps everybody involved with the video. If you hit the like button, please let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the topic of this video in the comment section below. I love reading comments again. Nearly enough comments. Please leave a comment. And if you want to help out and support this video, then please share it on social media, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me personally, then please consider pledging and becoming a patron on my Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been a video, and I'll see you all later.